Hello everybody, we are going to talk about grass today. So, in a sustaining effort, why would we be talking about grass? Well, grass is a really good source of nitrogen and it can be worked into a compost pile, and it's kind of a key ingredient to compost, which I need because I do not have a bunch of leaves and things like that. So this will keep my pile moving, and I can add my dry ingredients, which is from the chicken coop, the bedding material, which is a lot of dry ingredients. So I kind of want to have a nitrogen source for that fact, and I also have a little bit of a grazing idea for the chickens, that they can come out here and you know, kind of trim down the grass a little bit and have it as an extra food source. So I want to show you the patchy areas of this grass so I can kind of illustrate a point here. So grass is kind of tricky sometimes, and you have to pick the right grass for your environment. This is Bermuda grass. So I live in Arizona, it's hot. This is actually a drought resistant, heat tolerant, and it actually likes heat type of grass. So I don't necessarily believe in having to seed twice a year. Some people, they'll seed with a winter grass versus a summer grass. If you find the right grass that grows continually throughout the year, that's the one that you're gonna want to use. For me, I've done a lot of research, and Bermuda grass kind of grows like a weed. So that's why I was counting on this to fill in the area. It's the hottest kind of part of the summer, and this thing is taking off. So that's why it was chosen. So this is a long process, everybody, for grass. It's about 90 days to get everything filled in and looking good. So it starts off with these little tiny patches of grass, as you can see, and then it kind of develops into a larger patch of grass, and then it will just continue to fill in, as you can see, this larger area over here that's kind of filling in itself. So I overseeded as much as possible so that I could get the most take of my grass. And honestly, it's been less than a month, and I'm getting really good growth going on right now. It may not appear to be because there's large patches of bare dirt, but those are even filling in every single day. It's looking different as it goes along. Also, this is a commitment for water. I do not like using so much water, but it's kind of a necessary evil with grass, is you have to water it about 2 to 3 times a day when it's first growing, so that it can definitely fill in the areas and not get too dried out. So the grass can just keep reproducing and move around, and also the seed can come up from what you've already placed down in the ground. So it's important, guys, that you understand your purposes, understand where things are coming from, what their temperature tolerances are for plants, for animals, all these things. So I just want to take a quick moment while I'm describing these things, and I want to go into further detail about being inspired by your area that you live in. So I live in a desert, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really hot. I'm sweating. Being out in this temperature sometimes is really taxing on me. So how much more is it taxing on my plants and on my animals? So be aware of what you choose in the beginning to plant or to raise as livestock for eating purposes or whatnot. So, you know, I took a lot of thought, a lot of extra energy and research to figure out what species and what plants would be the best for my environment. So I chose tilapia because they're very, very, very heat tolerant, and they actually like to be in warmer water, kind of 90, 85, 90 degrees is their kind of really healthy point for their growth and development. So You know, 90% of the time here in Arizona, it's really hot. And there are little bits of time where it kind of dips down into colder weather. And for that, I also have a blue tilapia that is more cold tolerant, so it can survive down to like 40 something degrees also. So I took that into consideration with that. And then all of my plants that I have, almost every single one of them is drought tolerant, drought resistant, and they love the heat. They need to be in direct sun. So it's direct sunlight for my trees and my plants. So everyone who is trying to get involved in anything, whether it be gardening, whether it be in livestock, and you know, take that into consideration. My chickens. So my chickens are very, 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 very cold tolerant and also heat tolerant. So they're the Rhode Island Reds. They are just really good for temperature changes and fluctuations. And also they're really good egg layers. So I did the research on that. They do upwards of 300 eggs per year for one chicken. So I wanted maximum production from the chickens that I have. I didn't mess around with any other breeds. I purely only have the specific breed of chickens that I have because of what they're capable of doing. Also, their temperament. I understand that temperament plays a big part in what you want as an environment for your chickens. If you have all these different types of chickens and they all have different temperaments, you're gonna have fights, you're gonna have them plucking feathers from each other. I wanted the calmest breed that I can possibly get that would just produce. So I love these animals. I love their temperament. I love how they treat each other, and the fact that there's no rooster provides them less stress, and they just lay consistently for me every single day. So you got to understand that sometimes we need to think outside of the box and think about the long term. So plan ahead, guys, about whatever you're doing, gardening, livestock, trees, you know, it's all part of the sustainability effort. When you plan things out and you do your research, it definitely is more rewarding, and it provides, you know, where you're not going to lose plants, you're not going to lose trees, you're not going to lose your animals because you've thought ahead and you really understand their environment. You provide what they need. You know, in my chickens, I provide a shelter, I provide a tree situation where they can go and hide. I think about the predators, I think about all these different factors so that I know these chickens have the best chance of surviving. And likewise with the fish and anything that I do, because that's all important. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's all valuable information. Do your research, be educated, and be sustainable. That's how you be sustainable. You make little choices, you do your research, you follow those who have come before you that are doing it right, and you do it right as well. So I encourage you guys to do your research and be like Mother Nature. Try to represent Mother Nature as much as possible in everything that you do. Create environments that are conducive to where you live, and be sustainable. You are the answer, you are the key. Subscribe and like to my videos if you enjoy them, and have a great day.